The good news is, well, for starters, the update is on time, and I can't stress it enough. Seriously. Besides, it's where I get to make some really tough decisions here. I'll explain that a bit later, so it's high time we get things underway, shall we? This is MegamanNG. I welcome you to my monthly update for September of 2024. There are only a few months left in this year, but for me, it's time to go back to the backlog. Were you expecting something negative? Nah. Well, somewhat. No way. It's high time we get on with it, shall we? Now, before we begin, I do want to say that if you enjoy my content, please be sure to do these 5 simple things. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. August? Dear Lord. It actually started to drop, and that alone is very worrying. It's very worrying. If you're seeing it right here, about 83% of my watch time has come from non-subscribers. We seriously need to improve on that. I said this last update, so I may as well tell you here. To anyone that hasn't subscribed to this channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that bell. As I said, I can't stress this enough. I don't care how many times I keep saying it, but if I want this channel to continue on, your support means a lot. Remember what I said. 2024 is the year I make or break. And I don't want that to happen with the latter. I start this off with real talk, and this is also kind of the reason why you haven't seen any new games from me. Yep, gaming has sadly gone down the toilet. Why? Because of a multitude of factors, one of which being that gaming is trying to go after a certain audience, a so-called modern audience. Here's the thing, the modern audience that these developers are working so hard to deliver does not exist. It never existed. What these companies are going after is something that isn't real at all. All they're doing is alienating the people who spend their hard-earned cash on games that they want to play. And speaking of which, the gaming industry really seems to have a hatred for a multitude of things. For example, beautiful women in video games. They think that it gratifies women or hell, make them like sex objects. In truth, it just doesn't. What they're doing is making female characters either look ugly or sometimes have them look closely to men to push the male gaze away. It's messed up. Or another example, many games have characters that are of a different color. I don't want to be racist or anything, but I am noticing this happening a lot more, and all this does is making me wonder what the hell's going on. I already told you about how Sony is censoring Japanese games on their platform to the point where games would either be delayed or not released at all. And it gets worse. Even developers decide to act like assholes on social media, thinking they know what's best for the consumer, when in truth, they do not. I'll give you 2 examples. The first is Concord, a game so awful that its player count is dwindling with every passing hour. Its roster is just unimpressive and blah. A game that came 8 years too late, at $40 no less. Why do I have a feeling that this will suffer the same fate as games like Lawbreakers and Battleborn? Yes, both of those games died, and they got beat by Overwatch of all things. And given the recent news, Sony is about to lose $200 million on this. Honestly, they deserve what's coming to them. Every single one, including you, Herman Hulst. You killed off a lot of promising developers and promising games in your company just to fund this slop. Utterly pathetic. You won't see me do content of it, as it's one of the games that are on my blacklist. The other is Dustborn, a game that is just so horribly and painfully bad. A game that promotes hostility, hatred, bigotry, and malice. A game that had been funded by certain government organizations. Case in point, the U.S. Department of State, the country of Norway, and the European Union. When governments fund a game that promotes hatred, that is a bad sign. A bad omen, as it were. A game so awful that they have the audacity to insult us, saying that we don't know better. But we do. We honestly do. And like with Concord, you will not be seeing Dustborn on this channel. It's a part of my blacklist. I do not in any way, shape, or form promote hatred or bigotry on my channel. Just know two things. The first is that we gamers are the ones that decide if a game succeeds or fails. After all, we should be voting with our wallets. We're the ones that are making the decisions. Sure, you want to bully Concord? You want to buy Concord or Dustborn? I ain't stopping you. That's your choice. Sadly, it's not mine. I would rather enjoy games that treat us gamers like people and not idiots. I respect companies that treat us well and despise those that treat us like we're dumb. I would use a certain other word, but it's not happening here. Not doing that. Also, don't trust game journalists. Even though not all of them are bad, they are still overall bad. Think for yourself. That is the most important thing. And as an independent reviewer, I do that and then some. Now I only wish companies like Square Enix can give me a chance at least. Because sadly, they haven't. Or have, it depends. There was some new stuff that I got done, but because of my vacation, my work took a nosedive. Okay, I'm just going to say this as bluntly as possible. I'm sorry that I was unable to get more content out. But listen, it took a while for me. But thankfully I'm back now and I'm doing what I can to make up for it. Things right now aren't going so well, and I will explain that much later. Right now, I want to get to what I have done in the month of August. The first was Hi-Fi Rush on PS5. We begin with this. Yeah, I did this on Xbox Series X last year, and I had a lot of fun with it. Luckily, I did it again, and I dedicated it to Tango Gameworks. Yes, I know that the company isn't dead. They got bought by the developers behind PUBG. So I say that there is some hope after all for the series. I hope that they allow Tango to deliver more with the franchise. As for the game, it's really solid, and I still have to do the added content, meaning the Spectra doors. It's going to be something. I recommend this game. Seriously. Now, if only the viewership for it was a bit better, because truth be told, it was not. Next is Sonic Origins Plus. This was basically my follow-up to all the old Sonic the Hedgehog videos I did back in the day. Surprisingly, people still watch them. It's not a bad thing, but I wish you guys can check out the new stuff. It isn't fair that I'm going to be remembered for a bunch of older videos and not the new. Anyway, I decided to do Sonic Origins Plus. Yes, I did all 4 games, though I know some of you would want to see me do all of them with Amy Rose. Okay, I'll make a bet. Anyone that donates me, at most, $200 to my PayPal, and I will do full game runs of all 4 Sonic games with Amy Rose solo. No Tails, just Amy, and no one else. As for the Game Gear games, I'll have an extra video or 2 planned where I show off each game. Aside from that, I had a lot of fun with this game. Aside from the music changes in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it is a very solid collection. Now, I only wish Sega can let us have the 2 adventure games and Sonic Heroes as one collection. That's what I hope for, honestly. Last but not least is the post-game to Monster Hunter Stories Remastered. I may have beaten the game, but I did do some post-game episodes. The truth is, I won't be returning to it for a while. Much of it will require me to grind a lot, and I have to grind in order to tackle the next few dungeons. Don't get me wrong, I was able to get plenty done. I'm thankful for it. Sadly, though, in order for me to get stronger, I need to step up my game and make sure I have my strongest party for the job. The playthrough is done, and the post-game will likely not last much longer. Those were the games I covered for the month of August. I would also like to apologize if I sprinkled in Overwatch 2 play of the game highlights. Truth be told, I still play it in spite of everything Activision Blizzard has done. And I'll just have them be on the late night from now on. If you don't like it, that's okay. If you look at the viewership, they've been absolutely bad. Trying to get an audience in 2024 YouTube is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, while it's in a never-ending black hole that's swallowed by piss and garbage. I always wonder to myself if I'm not good enough for you guys. Maybe that's the case. Oh well. We're entering a new month, so I may as well tell you what my plans are for this month of September, and there's going to be a lot. I should also mention that since I have a massive backlog, it means that you'll be seeing playthroughs of games you probably never thought you would see. It's going to be big, so bear in mind that these will change on a whim. You have been warned. First is the Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. If you saw the demos I did, then you know it's inevitable. Months ago, I did the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy, and soon, I will be doing this. Here's the plan. I'm going to be doing the first AAI game, then the second. They will be commentated, but because truth is, it's high time I do things my way. Yes, I did see Slizer's video on both of them, and I know he has his way of doing it, but me, I'm doing mine, and I want to do it my way. I've done the Ace Attorney games without commentary for so long that I'm being overshadowed by others who can do it better. Honestly, I'm happy Slizer's returned. I only hope he can do the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy someday. Anyway, they will be commentated, and it will not be an easy thing. Then I can assure you it's going to be rough. Rough for my voice, especially. Next is Mega Man Battle Network 6 Cybeast Gregar. You guys voted for it, so I may as well make it official. I've started the 6th and final entry in the Battle Network series, Battle Network 6. I've already recorded up to 10 parts so far, or rather 8. And I plan to do more. I want to see the journey through to its end. I will also be including the additional content that was cut from the original GBA version. Yes, some stuff was cut due to memory and storage limitations. Since this is the Legacy Collection version, I plan to cover it all. I hope it's to your liking because I swear it's going to be something to go through. Plus, it would be fitting to see it all come to an end. You'll be seeing this starting on September 2nd, aka tomorrow. Something I will mention is that once Ace Attorney Investigations Collection comes out, it's going to be on hold for a while because that's going to take priority. Last but not least is Dragon Quest VI, The Realms of Revelation. Before I explain, let me make one thing perfectly clear. RPGs, especially JRPGs, are my comfort food. They are my go-to when I want to spend hours just forgetting my troubles and just focusing on what I like. I started this since May of last year, and I will see all of this through to the end. If you don't like it, forgive my language, but tough shit. This is my channel, and I want to do what I want. I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over and over because it gets stale. I want to do things differently, and I want to do it my way. Get it? Got it? Good. Okay then. I've been working on this for some time now, and I've made a lot of progress. I've already recorded up to 20 parts of Dragon Quest VI, and you're going to be seeing this starting tomorrow. Believe me, I know you guys may not like it, but I truthfully don't care. I love this series, and I hate how it's being treated. Same for RPGs in general. I could be wrong, but that's beside the point, honestly. So yeah, I'll be working on this on my own time, and hopefully finishing it so I can then move on to the post-game and train my butt off for the super boss himself, Nocturnus. Pray for me that I can do this in under 20 turns. If I can do that, I see it as an absolute win. I should also mention that thanks to my backlog, as I said, you may be seeing playthroughs that will be covered here on YouTube. It can depend, so I hope it is enough, and if not, then there's nothing I can do. Viewership on YouTube has continued to stagnate with no end in sight. All I can do is ride this through to the end. Besides, I feel you won't give my new stuff a chance because you expect me to do the same thing again and again. And don't lie to me. Tailsfan has already confirmed that. Or he could be trolling, I don't know. I want it to change. But that depends entirely on my viewers. Especially, well, you. The one who's watching right now. Just saying. It may be selfish, but I want this channel to grow, honestly. I don't want it to stagnate and die. Because if that happens, then I'm done. If you guys are wondering or asking, if I plan on doing anything else. That's a maybe. Besides, I do have some ideas planned, but I want to focus on what I want. So if you're expecting me to do games like Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, that's not going to happen for a while. Why? Well, I've told you this already, but I may as well tell you again. I'm still saving up to get a new Omen laptop. But if you're wondering about video essays, though, I have some ideas. But like I said, they aren't coming for a while. Though I do plan on making my first video review. It's a big one, for a good reason. It'll be a while, but I promise not to disappoint. It's just going to take a little time, that's all. Time now for another fundraiser update. Sadly, though, things are getting a bit slow. Recently, I had to spend $97 just to get my iPhone's battery replaced. Yeah, I had to, but it's life. I don't want to spend like hundreds of dollars on getting a new phone when I can just replace it for like under $100. And plus, I took care of my phone too. I had to. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices in order for you to continue doing what you enjoy. And yes, I use my phone for a multitude of things. There hasn't been anything new, but now I'm just going to save money when I can. That and I need to fight off my urges towards eating. Here's the truth. I've gained a lot of weight and I want that to be completely cut. I mean it. So I'll just leave this up as to those who have donated thus far, you have my sincerest thanks. Remember that if you want to help, the link is down in the description below. This is not mandatory, but it is appreciated. I should also mention that anyone that delivers a $200 dono, I will be doing Sonic Origins Plus with Amy Rose. All 4 games, Amy Rose by herself, no assistance. It'll be the true test of skill that I hope to achieve. Oh, and to let you know, I'm not making much money on YouTube. Nowadays, I make around like $200, $220 or so a month, and it's not enough to keep me afloat. Given the situation, I'm playing the long game. It ain't much, but it has to count. And I will have to make another sacrifice. Why? Because I'm not taking any more chances. With that, that's it. My update's done. It's on time this time, so I hope it's enough. Also, to anyone that's starting a new year of school or college, good luck. Make it count. Because as Shulk says, the future is ours to decide. I'm hoping to try new things so that way I can get my viewership up. Maybe this is the year I may call it quits, or not. Depends on how things go, you know. Please don't forget that if you enjoy what I do and the content that I produce, please consider supporting me, whether it be through channel memberships, my Ko-fi, or through PayPal. Anyone that does a dono through PayPal will get a shout out. If you send 100, you'll get one for 3 months, and if you send 400, it's a year. All will go towards improving the channel, and believe me, it'll all be a big benefit to the channel. Yeah, I said that more than once. I've tried everything in convincing you, but if this won't cut it, I don't know what will. Things ain't going to get better. It's only going to get worse. A lot worse. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, the like button. It means a lot. If you enjoyed this or any of my content, please be sure to do these 5 things. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. It helps. Also, I want to improve our watch time. Like I said, last month was just awful, and I want this month to do better. Why is it that July was my best thus far when the next months after that it was worse? I want it to improve, and it can only be done by subbing and clicking that bell. And watching my stuff, too, especially the new stuff. Because judging by the viewership as of late, it has not gone well. Anyone that says that it doesn't help is foolish. It really does. And even if I get at least like one person or so watching, that's enough for me. That's pretty much it. I've gone too long and I need to get to work. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. Make it count for my sake.